All right, so when it comes to universities, there's a lot of talk about how socialism has taken over American universities. That's all that's being taught.
I mean, it's been since the 60s.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the woke culture is pretty much being birthed at universities and kind of infiltrating the rest of the world from schools, right? So then where does that actually come from? Like, who's to blame? Well, maybe the teachers. Maybe the teachers that are teaching could have, certain ideas and spreading it. And sometimes maybe these ideas could go way overboard. And recently at Yale University, there was a Dr. Aruna Khilanani who went on Khilanani, yeah.
Kilabunani. You want to kill a girl? Let's go.
That's her nickname in college.
Yeah, she
Gender
was,
studies professor.
Let's go, Killer Punani.
she was invited by Yale School of Medicine's Child Study Center, and she made a 50-minute talk via Zoom, and basically based her entire talk on the psychology of whiteness. Now, Aruna Khilanani, I think she's not white.
She's a killer nanny.
Kilapunani. Hey.
Yeah, this is a.
Oh, that makes sense. Indian.
This is a
Okay.
picture of her.
Killer nanny.
Sense
Yeah.
now.
She's like, look at my pussy is pristine. This nanny is killer.
She's like, do you know how good this is? This is very good.
She's sitting on gold right now.
Yes, rumors are true. Killer nanny.
That's
She's
me.
smug, bro. Look at that fucking. She's got the confidence of a god. Like, yes, pussy is pristine.
True.
Go girl, get it.
So yes, she's a working psychoanalyst and psychiatrist, and she's taught at
One of those useless
Cornell, Yale, useless degree, sure.
I can say that because I have a degree in that.
All right, so she decided to make this speech or this talk about like whiteness, like the psychology of white people and white privilege, and all these things. Here's a flyer for it. So it's literally called "The Psychopathic Problem of the White Mind."
Psychopathic, bro.
Yeah, so
Oh.
it gets
That demonizes a whole culture.
it gets very volatile.
What are some of the main points that she was?
I mean, isn't there every example of every human group being fucking disgusting and fucked up?
To their own people.
Yeah.
Literally to their own people.
Because I mean, what Mao killed more people than any fucking war, and it was his own people.
It was his own
through
people.
famine.
Same with Stalin.
Stalin, yeah, crazy.
That's true, huh? Nobody ever mentioned Stalin in those.
I know, and all the
Like
wars.
the
and,
top ranking of
So maybe
murders.
communism doesn't
No
work.
one cares about second place though.
Yeah, no one cares about second place.
True.
Every example, man. Like, people always be like, I come from a warrior country. I'm like, yeah, so does everybody.
Literally.
Every fucking country is a warrior's country. What are you talking about?
Talking. Hitler gets all the hype, and then Stalin gets forgotten.
I know, right?
Sucks.
All right, so in her talk, in her lecture, she basically talks about how she has a hard time talking to white people. When we talk to white
Well, if
people
you're calling them
about-
psychopaths, here's why you're a fucking psychopath. They're not gonna receive that well.
True. So she thinks that talking to white people about race is a non-starter because they're not on the same playing field in terms of the whole race thing as minorities are, people of color. Because we understand apparently a certain facet of being the oppressed. So when you have a conversation about race, you can't really see eye to eye with white people. Now, I'm gonna quote some things from her lecture. I'll start with the craziest sounding one, all right? This is literally in her lecture at 7:17. I have a link in the description below with the entire talk, the entire lecture at 7:17 timestamp. She says, I had fantasies of unloading a revolver into the head of any white person that got in my way, burying their body, wiping my bloody hands as I walked away relatively guiltless with a bounce in my step, like I did the world a fucking favor.
Wow.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
She needs mental
And
help.
white people are the psychopaths? Sounds like a little bit of of protection to me.
I have a question. What does she mean by get in her way? Like physically, what are we talking about here? Is there context to that?
She fantasizes about killing white people.
She fantasies about So like, this is the cost of talking to white people at all. The cost of your own life as they suck you dry. There are no good apples out there. White people make my blood boil.
Not all white people, bro. We all know some good whites. You know what I mean?
Damn.
That's crazy.
She called them out.
Crazy.
What does she consider white, right? Because I guess in her eyes I might be white. Because I'm Mexican. Like I have a lot of European blood. Does she hate me? But I'm like, I'm a fucking brown person.
And what about white people that were subjugated by white people?
Exactly.
Like, or what about Eastern Europeans or like Mediterranean white? Which one is real white, you know?
Right.
I think it's all the above. To her, she probably thinks all the above.
And it wasn't long time ago when Irish, Jewish, and Italians weren't considered
Bro,
white.
if she's Indian, don't Indians still have like fucking the caste system? Like that's like, isn't that still around?
She's like the light-skinned Indian.
Yeah, she's probably not considering all that stuff. She's just looking very tunnel vision at the race issue.
She might be
in
American
America.
born too, right?
She's American.
To have
Yeah,
that amount of hate towards
See,
white people.
That's the thing, right? It's like a lot of the college professors or whatever, they're spewing a lot of this stuff. It's like they look at it from such a small lens.
The smallest
and
of lenses.
They forget how practical the stuff that they're teaching can be in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
Like if you when you have like a broader perspective and you've been to different places, like let's say even you go to Hawaii, for example, right? White people are scared.
Hell yeah.
They're the minority. It's like, watch your mouth, Halle. Oh shit, okay, I don't want to get fucked up. Like the white people there might feel completely oppressed.
Yeah.
So like it's just in different. I think she's like almost taking one very small instance of her upbringing and extrapolating this crazy like fallacy of what she thinks the
Built
world
this
is.
idea of what white people is just based on like little fragments of her upbringing or whatever her experience is, right?
Yeah.
And she's like creating this gigantic monster out
Yeah,
of it.
but like interactions are different all over the world. It's crazy.
I feel like no one's ever met and had a conversation with an Asian auntie. They're probably the most racist people in the whole entire world. Yeah. They'll make some shit up.
Mexican aunties can be too. Like we all have it in
No,
all of
Asians
our
are way more
cultures.
racist.
No, we're way more.
No, we are.
No, we are.
No.
We're pretty racist.
No, we're
No,
pretty
Gio,
fucking-
you don't understand. We are.
I have
We're more
yellow
racist.
privilege, and it's way better than yours.
No, I'm brown, dude.
In California,
better. Brown
you
pride.
do have brown privilege.
It depends on where you go, though. Some privileges don't work in other countries.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
And that's the thing where like this whole white privilege thing, it's like, or privilege, any type of privilege, it all depends on where you go. Everything's circumstantial.
Yeah. American privilege is different.
When I didn't know too much outside of LA and then like just studying a lot of shit from the colleges here, like I believed all this stuff because I didn't know any better. You know, when you have someone like a professor who's teaching you this stuff, you're like this moldable brain, right?
Absolutely.
And then so like, I remember, from elementary on, you're kind of programmed to believe that white people are dangerous, they're colonizers, they're scary, and when you're a kid too in the inner city, like how often do you really get to have quality interactions with white people? Like
None.
most of it is they're a figure of authority, right? Like an officer or maybe
Or
like
you
a
strive
school
to be like
administrator.
them 'cause they're better than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like when you see them, they're like characters. Like, oh, they're the rich kids from the beach cities.
They're like not real.
They're not real. Like they're only on TV, right? And then all your classmates are minorities, right? So, and then if you do have some white friends, they're like different. You don't even see that they're white because
No.
they're like white trash or whatever. Like they're not even accepted within like white people.
Yeah.
So I was like, dude, I didn't even think of all this stuff until later in life, and it takes a lot of like studying and knowing yourself and all that to like
Deprogramming
Yeah,
too a little bit. It takes
'cause-
a lot of work.
the same way these maybe racist white people that live in small towns that don't know, minorities, like how they become all in a bubble and fucked up, right? The same thing happens to us in the city, where we're raised to believe that all white people are racist, or a lot of people believe that. And then I think it just creates this fucking weird tension.
And then we're also, because of things that we think we know about certain races of people, we're constantly looking for those examples
And also, there's like bad interactions, right? Like you remember the bad interactions more than the good ones.
Yeah.
So there might be 100 good interactions with white people, but it only takes one guy to call you a chink.
Yep, and then whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find
What is
it.
that called? The false
confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Boom.
So what was the reaction when she said that? When she dropped that bar?
Everyone's like,
everybody was like, ah! Everyone's getting hyped.
Killer Punani kills again.
They're shooting the revolvers in the air.
All right, so basically, the school prior to her talk, they were saying, they sent her an email saying, "Good morning, I was surprised to see the announcement for tomorrow's grand rounds. I imagine replacing the words white mind with Asian mind or gay mind as we work towards equity, inclusion, and unity. I wonder what impact this presentation will have." Basically, this is the school's way of, like, in a PC way, kind of like, are you sure about this? Do you understand what you're about to, like, lecture on? And, like, I guess she didn't send the entire lecture to them. She just sent, like, the title and, like, kind of like small bullet or synopsis of it. So I don't think Yale even understood what she was about to say.
And who invited her? Fuck.
I don't know. And then so she goes on and does the thing. She actually took offense to that email first of all. She does, and then now she goes and does. She goes and does the lecture, and after the lecture, it seems like the school is like, "Holy shit, this is nuts." They basically don't release this lecture to the masses, and they're like, "Okay, let's just keep this internally within Yale." So I guess we'll release it to other Yale, whatever students. You know, maybe they can have access to it. But one person leaked it out, which is now why we all have access to this fucking thing, and this doctor, she's taken to TikTok now, and she's starting to make TikToks about why Yale is suppressing her. She feels suppressed by
Evil
Yale.
white people don't want to see me fucking win.
Kill white people, burn them alive.
And this is her like just one of many videos of her talking about.
No, to some people, she can pass as white.
Low key.
You know what I mean? Like
she could. Here we go.
There's a disclaimer that Yale had to put about how violent my talk was. I'm gonna read it to you. This video contains profanity and imagery of violence. Yale School of Medicine expects the members of our community to speak respectfully to one another and to avoid the use of profanity as a matter of professionalism and acknowledgement of our common humanity. Yale School of Medicine does not condone imagery of violence or racism against any group. I'm the violent one. I'm the crazy one. I'm the profane, disrespectful one. No professionalism. Fuck, I didn't see that coming. Oh wait, I did. I began my talk by saying that if I start talking about race in this way, I'm gonna be seen as the crazy, psychotic one. And white people just followed my fucking textbook like a goddamn script.
I need to see her lecture because I haven't seen the whole thing. It's just bullet points. I want to watch it. I'm curious.
They didn't release the video. It's a leaked audio, a 50-minute leaked audio of her lecture. It is. I listened to some of it. It's fucking nuts.
It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, and like
is she single or what?
You're interested, huh?
I'm thinking about it.
She's like the.
She probably fucks good, right? The crazy one.
She sounds like the incel version of Chicks.
Yeah.
Because like the way she sounds like it's like you know when dudes are like, you know what, all chicks are fucking bitches. They don't want to give you a time of day. Watch, if you want, they say you want me to be straightforward, I'll be straightforward. Hey, I want to fuck you in your ass. And then the chick's like, get away from me. And he goes, see, fell into my trap. Exactly the way I said chicks would behave.
Bro, no personal responsibility.
I'm like, what the fuck?
They're like, actually, it was the line about you murdering somebody.
Yeah, you
shooting
crazy ass
head.
motherfucker.
And she was like, oh, I'm the problem.
Just conveniently left that part in.
Well, I like how she's reading the guidelines or whatever Yale told her. Like, hey, we gotta speak to each other respectfully and like adults. And she's like, respectfully and like adults. Huh.
White people would say that.
Yeah.
Pussies, that's what she said.
I'm like, whoa.
She seems very reasonable.
Yeah, that's that type of person's out there. So
I always want to ask these people, like, when you mean this, like, serious, right? Who are you really talking about? And it's like, Jenny fucking picked on me all through high school. That white bitch, fuck her. You know it's
fuck Jenny.
Yeah.
All of these things, they come from personal experiences.
It goes both ways.
Like, why would you just imagine shit up and tie the dot? It doesn't make no sense.
It's
like,
lazy.
When did this happen?
Hey, how many white people do you think she's killed already?
In her mind, thousands.
All of them.
All right.
She had a white genocide in her fucking fantasy, dude. She dreams of this stuff.
She probably turns on Friends every day and just blasts her TV. Fucking take that, Rachel. Fucking Ross.
So her psychiatry office had like 0 reviews apparently prior to all this stuff coming out, and I went to her Google page to see like what kind of reviews or like whatever it was. All 20 Google reviews were made within 2 hours of this article being posted. And this is her rating at the moment.
Oh, shit.
So I guess like, you know, people are canceling her. Because, and then like, for example, and they're writing as if they're like actual
Like patients,
but obviously I don't. These are all within minutes and hours of this coming out. But someone said,
"That's great.
Horrible experience kept distracting me from the things I wanted to talk about. Can't believe I actually paid to see her. Disrespectful, condescending. Do not go near her. Whatever you're struggling with, she'll make it much worse." Someone else wrote, I feel threatened every time I am within striking distance with this doctor. I feel the need to see a shrink after I see my shrink. I am scared of this woman, and if something is not done, then I fear for my life. So people are taking taking it into their own hands to try and cancel this woman and get her away from professional therapy and all that stuff.
She's gonna be on JK News next week, right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Dude, that'll be hilarious. I want to get guests like this.
What happens if she has like a white client?
She probably just tells them how much you deserve this and you deserve your problems because you're white.
Yeah, pretty much.